G'day fellas, and welcome back. It's been quite a while since I last played a YouTube video, and for that I do apologise. I've been busy with just live with uni and everything going on in the background, so I haven't had too much of a chance to make a video. But we're back, and today I did want to talk about something I've actually been playing a fair bit recently, and that's going to be talking about War Thunder Naval. And specifically here I wanted to just talk about, is playing Coastal for War Thunder Naval worth it? I've been playing this a fair bit recently. I started off in 1.0 in several of my different nations. I was a little bit ahead already in the US tree. I was down to about 2.7, 3.0 already by the time I started playing Coastal properly. But I've gone essentially from reserve tier in both Russia, Great Britain, France, Japan as well. And I've gone up to about 2.7, 2.3. About 3.0 in a few of those different nations. Japan's still a little bit behind, only about 1.7, but I digress. I've been playing it a fair bit recently, and it's been a lot of fun. I do think it's something everyone should actually give a shot these days, and there's a couple of reasons for why I say that. Number one is the fact that Gaijin actually changed a couple of things recently, and one of those changes was the fact that you don't need many people to actually get into a game these days for naval. So, one of the changes that Gaijin implemented in one of the more recent updates was the fact that they reduced the number of players required to actually start a match. And this is especially beneficial for playing Coastal because there's not many people that actually play it, especially when I'm playing here in my particular time zone down in Australia. I play on the NA server normally because that's where I get my most stable connection. And normally that means my hours when I'm available to play is normally not quite the prime time for NA. So, as a result, I'm normally playing on some some less populated servers at that time. As a result of this change, I've been able to have a lot more of these naval matches a lot more consistently. With Coastal in particular, I've had as little as 4 players in the entire game, 2 on each side, and it's just been such a fun experience, being able to actually grind through some of these different ships appropriately. The other big change that Gaijin made in conjunction with this was the fact that, hey, any bot kills are now worth the same as killing enemy players, and that has been the single best change I think Gaijin has actually done in a long time for naval. It is the same across all of the different ships, from your blue water, so your cruisers, destroyers, your battleships, to all of your coastal ships as well. Doesn't matter if they're a bot, doesn't matter if they're a player, it is all worth the same, which is phenomenal. It makes grinding naval in particular so much easier. I've been having an absolute blast of a time just being able to play some of these low tier ships, some of these low tier coastal vessels as well, and it's just been a lot of fun. Now, I will admit, there's some coastal ships that tend to struggle more than others at these lower BRs particularly, and they're particularly ships that are armed with, say, 30 cal, so your 7.7mm caliber guns. Anything that doesn't have at least a 50 cal, so your 12.7mm machine guns, or your 20mm autocannons at least. Anything larger than that as well is obviously excellent, but anything around like 7.7 mils and less, yeah, you're gonna struggle regardless of any form of matchmaking, bots, no bots, regardless. And that's just due to the fact that the 7.7s, they don't really do anything. I'm looking at you, France, because that was a little bit of painful grinding through that initially. But if you're able to start off with something nice and simple, some of the US stuff early on has got some pretty decent stuff. Russia, pretty early on you get access to some of these larger caliber guns, like for example, I can't remember the exact designation of the vehicle, but you do get access to, for example, some of the tank turret coastal ships, which are quite a fair bit of fun. They're kind of goofy, but they're great to mess around with. I'm playing in with the reserve ships here in the background here. This is the Type T14 Mod 2. It's a reserve ship for Japan, but it comes armed with a single 25mm autocannon, and well, I'm able to do a ton of damage. I'm going to kind of abuse this thing here sitting in the cap in a minute, because one of the things I've found out particularly about this ship, so it might extend to other Japanese autocannons, but if you're in the cap, you're sitting there properly, you time the reload correctly, you can actually have an unlimited rate of fire with this thing, which is really quite dumb. But I digress anyways. So Coastal has been a lot of fun, particularly at these lower BRs. One of the reasons why I actually decided to start playing this was obviously those aforementioned changes, but also as well, when the Strasbourg event was introduced, I actually decided, hey, I don't particularly want to be playing higher tier naval stuff because at the time I had my Des Moines. I was still trying to grind towards my Alaska, which is my very first top tier blue water ship in the game. And I was just like, yeah, I don't really feel like playing these higher tiers because I keep getting smashed by all these battleships. As a cruiser, what can you do? So I decided to play a lot of this coastal, and I had an absolute amazing time just playing all of my mid-tier coastal ships. So I had one of the premiums, 2.3 Britain from the battle pass, one of the previous battle passes, to help me grind through Britain a little bit more. I had obviously a lot of my American PT boats already by that point because I've done some in the past but never taken it too seriously, and it's just been such a fun and chill experience. And I think this is my biggest reason why I do recommend people play coastal. Now there's some other fantastic creators out there that actually do talk about coastal on a more regular basis, such as Comeditorial. I'll leave a link down to his channel below, but it is one of the most underappreciated game modes, I feel, and one of the most underappreciated types of trees. Obviously, people know about some of the more top-tier coastal ships when you're talking, like, say, your, what is it, MPK 206, I believe. Some of the, like, the higher-tier Russian stuff, people are familiar more with, like, say, the Albatross, the Bussard, I think that's how you say it, the Bussard, however you say it, the Burnow. People are also familiar with some of the, what is it, the Italian one that gets those anti-ship missiles as well. The Douglas, the American premium one that gets the, those missiles as well. People are more familiar with those, but especially these low tier ones, you can be in for quite a fun time. For example, I'm getting strafed by buying planes at the moment here, and we're gonna just casually blow up that dude's bomb. So it's just, you have a little bit of fun madness, particularly these lower BRs, and it's so worth it. My most fun has been playing from around BRs between 1.7 to about 3.0. Up to 3. When you get to around 3.0, you do start running into a lot of people playing Amiens recently, and if you're familiar with the Amiens, it's like the Arras, which is in the French coastal tech tree. However, the Amiens, it trades one of the big guns on that ship for a 37mm autocannon on the back, and that thing is quite brutal. A lot of people have been playing that thing recently because it is actually free in the current battle pass, so being able to just like bully people with that ship is quite monstrous. And as you saw at the very start, as the meme I threw at the beginning of this video, yeah, I ran into a corner into 3 of them, and I didn't last too long, unfortunately. However, I do have a special surprise saved at the end of this video for dealing with that Amiens if you're able to find yourself in a fortunate situation. But apart from that, like, obviously there's issues with the game mode, as with all game modes. There's issues in terms of compression and stuff, but it's still really quite fun. It's really quite relaxing. Like, I've just been sitting here, I've been blasting away. I'm able to do a ton of damage as well, and that's one of the nice things when you're fighting all of these bots. I know people might not always be a fan of bots, but it's really quite relaxing being able to just go up against, well, the opposition that's really, in a sense, quite familiar, because you understand how the bots play, you understand the way they're going to act and stuff, and you're able to rack up damage really quickly. Now, if someone could like explain to me how naval damage is actually calculated, I would be greatly appreciative, because I don't understand how the formula for that works. I couldn't find it on the War Thunder wiki. But regardless, you're able to rack up a ton of damage, and that means you're able to get your skill bonus really quite early with these coastal ships, and it just makes your grind so much easier as well when you're going through. Now, it's been really quite enjoyable, quite fun, and there's not too much more for me to say. I think everyone should give coastal a shot. If you want to have a nation you want to start playing through, I reckon either start with, say, the Russians, the Americans, the Germans, or even the Japanese. Those would be my top 4 that I recommend people start with. But basically, anything that has at least a 50 cal or even a 20mm autocannon at bare minimum, and you'll be laughing. Anything else above that is sweet. Just make sure you're not armed with purely 7.7s, and you'll be absolutely, well, doing a very good job. So here we are, we're in MPK 123, I think this is the K variant. We found one of those Amiens from before, as you can see. Now, we've got a couple of torpedoes here, so you can see exactly what we're going to do. We're going to launch one away here, absolutely slam that dude, tell him get out of our game. I hate seeing Amiens. Now we're going to just, I can't remember if this is the one armed with the 50 cal or if this is the one armed with the 14.5. We're going to blast this PT boat that's behind us. I believe that's actually the PT-810. which is the top, well, highest BR American coastal PT boat that actually has the Mark 16 torpedoes. That's quite something I'm looking forward to hopefully getting in the future. Torpedo away against the Samian, and well, get out of here, sunshine. I am very happy to get rid of those Amiens as fast as I can. And well, that's really all I've got to say. I hope you guys did enjoy just listening to me talk about this. It's something I've been enjoying quite a fair bit lately. If you guys want me to keep making more videos specifically talking about War Thunder Naval, especially with the upcoming Leviathans update, I mean, we are getting a ton of massive ships incoming. Yamato, Iowa, Bismarck, Richelieu, Roma, Sovetsky Soyuz, and it is going to be the largest patch for naval we've probably ever had in War Thunder. So if you want to see me talk about some of that stuff in the future, please let me know. It will take me a little bit to grind towards some of those top tier ships, but happy to do that for you guys. Anyhow, that's all I've really got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed, and well, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.